What's going on, Reef Builders? I am Jake Adams, back in the studio, here to talk to you today about how to cycle a saltwater tank. The primitive way of cycling in a saltwater aquarium is to basically add some fish in there, some hardy damselfish, and just wait 4 to 6 weeks for the nitrogen, for the biological cycle to happen. But we have a much better technique in store for this aquarium. Now, I had a video of actually building out this tank, but since it's a saltwater tank, it's super duper simple, so I can just kind of show you what we will be working with. So this is the 128 gallon ProStar rimless aquarium from ProClear Aquatic Systems. Big thanks to them for sponsoring our fish aquarium. It's 6 feet long, has high clarity glass, has a very thin, low profile overflow in the middle, and since I'm keeping everything black in there, you pretty much can't see it. It comes on a steel frame stand, and because it's steel frame, then you can have really light doors that I actually really like. They're very light, very fancy. And this particular setup comes with a 4-foot sump that I've yet to really outfit with much of anything. So powering this tank is some Seache action, some Seache love. These are all wirelessly controllable controllers here. So this is the controller for the Seache Synchro 7, the SDC Synchro 7. And then I have 2 Extreme E water pumps providing water flow. You'll notice all the cables are neatly tied, and I still have a little bit of room here so I can pull off these controllers and kind of get at them. So big thanks to Seache for powering this reef tank, and I'm actually very excited. This is the first tank I've been able to set up the brand new bulk reef supply customized Inkbird temperature controller, and that is basically controlling a modified Shago heater right there with a titanium build. So we've got 300 watts of power to keep this tank nice and warm and stable temperature. So I have a lot of room here to experiment, modify, and customize this sump. But the real important part, the meat and potatoes of this aquarium, here's a Seache Synchro return pump. We've got our export bricks from Brightwell for providing a biomedia area for our bacteria to grow on. But probably the most important part of this video is going to be the Senai monitor. If you've never heard of Senai, they've actually been producing this USB dongle that you can plug into your computer that will monitor temperature, pH, and ammonia. So what we're going to do is, instead of me measuring ammonia every few days like a schmuck, I basically already have an ammonia concentration as measured here by the Senai. So this free ammonia is 0.2 ppm. That's roughly equal to 2 ppm of total ammonia that you would measure with your aquarium. So I've talked about the modern way to cycle this tank. There's a lot of different tank cultures and solutions that offer the instant cycling experience, but Brightwell has a brand new product called Microbacter Start Xlm that they told me would cycle this tank in record time. What makes this product unique from others is it doesn't have the same kind of shelf life as some of the tank start solutions that you probably have seen in refrigerators, right? So some of these other tank starter cultures need to be refrigerated. They might only last, I don't even know, maybe like 2 weeks to a month. So you really have to check the best before date. But the brand new solution, the Microbacter Start Xlm from Brightwell, doesn't have that issue. It's supposed to have like a 1 year shelf life. It can get really hot, get really cold. But basically, I'm told all I need to do is add 200 mLs of Microbacter Start Xlm to this tank and watch the ammonia fall. So instead of measuring the ammonia like a schmuck, I'm going to be able to graph the entire thing out thanks to the Senai. So we're going to add some of that, and I guess I'll come back to you guys when this tank is cycled.
1 week later.
The little experiment is completed. I have never cycled an aquarium without like some kind of seed biomedia from another tank. So it really was like a new territory and a completely different experience to cycle this aquarium, but really just cycle the biomedia inside the sump. But let me show you the results that we came up with. So this is a view of the Senai graph. So I ran the tank with ammonia for several days. So this is 1st December, 2nd December, and 3rd December, just to kind of make sure that things were stable. And right there on the 3rd of December, you can see when we added the Fast Start Xlm, and it just started dropping precipitously. And just like the label says, in 7 days, right at 7 days, our ammonia level basically flatlined to, pretty much negligible levels. So it was really fun to use the Senai to do this testing, but definitely had to take like a crash course in ammonia because it measures free ammonia, not total ammonia, which we're used to. So, but yeah, Senai is going to be a really cool device to have on the fish tank to just alert me to pH swings, and any bump in ammonia that happens, it's going to let me know right away. And so now we have a completely cycled 150-gallon tank ready for some fish. And the very strange thing is, the indicator that you're completed your biological cycle is the appearance of nitrate, which is totally normal in any system. That's how you know it's done with the ammonia, it's done with the nitrite. We also tested the nitrite, and there's none in here. But once I was finished, I had 150 gallons of slightly nutriated, elevated nitrate level seawater. So I actually did a complete water change, and that's the bump that you saw on the graph. But definitely, if I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't even plumb up the tank. I would just cycle through the sump, because the only biomedia is the export biobricks that I have here. So there was no reason to have the entire tank running and basically waste 150 gallons of water and seawater mix. So now that the first fish tank is completed and cycled, I have a bunch of fish just absolutely itching to get out of the fish hotel. We're gonna put them in here, but we need to do 3 things. I need to build some kind of a light stand or light rack to figure out what kind of lights to put on here. That's gonna be a fun little project, because fish, we literally just need superficial lighting. We just need ornamental lighting to bring out the colors of the fish, while also trying to keep it off the front glass so I don't have to clean that out as often. So we need something for the lights. Need a lid, a good fitting lid so fish don't jump out. And since this is a reef tank, isn't a reef tank, I don't really care about evaporation because I'm not dosing kalkwasser, so we can keep it enclosed and the heater's gonna run a lot less. But then I'm really curious about creating a fun aquascape in here. And I don't want to use rocks at all. I just don't want to use rock. I just feel like that's going to trap funk and dirt, and so I'm really leaning towards doing a jungle gym made out of like 3-inch black PVC parts. So just like the Seache Syncra 7 running in the tank and the Extreme SDC, Seache's controllable pumps, they're all black, so they completely disappear. So I'm thinking a black jungle gym of wider diameter PVC parts is going to be really fun, because I don't want this to be a reefscape. I don't want this to be an aquascape of any kind. I literally just want to be a good home for fish with nowhere for waste and stuff to build up, but places for the fish to call their own and to hide into and go to sleep in. So yeah, this tank is ready to go. We just have a few ornamental boxes to check to get it going. Really want to thank the several companies who are supporting this aquarium. We got Seache with the equipment. We have Clear with the tank, Senai with the sensor, and especially Brightwell for all the biological product needs. If you're interested in cycling a tank like this, you definitely want to take a read at the spec sheet or the information sheet for the Fast Start Xlm, because it's very, very potent, but you don't want to mix it with other bacterial products like we did in our How to Set Up a Reef Tank mini series from a couple weeks ago. So thank you for tuning into this video. The saltwater fish tank is an art that's really kind of been all but eclipsed by reef tanks. But if you're really into the fish and you want to see how this tank develops, make sure to subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. And I really want to hear your ideas, just like the closed loop video, for aquascaping materials in here besides rock. We've all seen big piles of rocks for all kinds of purposes, but I think we can do something a little bit more fun, a little bit more creative. So thank you for joining us on this video, and we'll catch you on the next one.